Transform your yarn stash into these gorgeous granny stitch beanies. They're so quick and easy to make, even a beginner that knows only the basics could easily tackle this pattern. So I made my beanies in this Yarnsmith's Nirvana Aran. You can use any Aran or worsted weight yarn for these. You're going to need both a 4 and a 5mm hook, a darning needle and some scissors. I'm going to be making the newborn size today, but you can find the other sizes in the written pattern, so check out the description box for more details. So this hat is made by creating the ribbing first and then working from the bottom up to finish off your beanie. So for the newborn size, starting with 4mm hook, I'm going to put a slip knot on your hook. I'm going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So starting in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put a single crochet, and we're going to put a single crochet in the next stitch and into every stitch all the way across. So we're coming up to the last couple of stitches here, single crochet in both of those. Now I'm going to show you a little tip to get the edges of your ribbing really nice and neat. So instead of chaining one and turning, I am just going to turn, and I'm very, very slightly going to elongate that stitch, only just a tiny little bit. And for this first stitch only, I'm going to single crochet through both of these loops. For the rest of the stitches, I'm going to be working through the back loop only. And we're going to single crochet just through those back loops all the way across. So it helps if you just turn your fabric over so you can see the back loops easier. So keep going all the way until you get to the last stitch. And this last stitch here, again, I'm going to crochet through both loops of that stitch. So we're not going to chain one, we're just going to turn, slightly elongate our loop and put a single crochet through both loops. And then again, single crochet through the back loops all the way across until we get to that last stitch. And again, we're going to work through both of those loops. Now this is going to give you really nice, neat edges. So you're going to just repeat that last row. So elongate your loop, single crochet through both loops of the first stitch, single crochet in the back loops of all of the remaining stitches up until that last stitch, and then again single crochet through both loops. You're going to repeat this until you have a total of 45 rows. So you go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here when you're ready to carry on. Okay, so I finished my 45 rows of ribbing for this size, and we're simply going to fold the ribbing over, and then we're going to join these two pieces together. So working into the back loops of this front side, the side that your yarn is attached to, so into the back loop and then into the bottom loop from your foundation chain, and then we're just going to slip stitch. And we're going to do that into each stitch across, so through the back loop, find the loop from the foundation chain and slip stitch. So you're going to keep going until you get all the way to the end of your ribbing. So I've worked all the way across. This is my last stitch. And now I finished the join. Now this is actually going to be the right size, even though the seam is on the outside. When you fold up your brim, this will be the right side of your beanie. So we're now going to start working around the top of our brim, and we're going to put a single crochet into each row. So I'm just going to chain one and then put a single crochet into the top of each row all the way around. So you should end up with 45 single crochet around your brim, and then we're going to join with the slip stitch to that first single crochet. We're now going to swap to 5mm hook, and we're going to turn. Now for this particular pattern, I'm not going to use the usual chain 3 as a starting chain. I'm going to use stacked stitches here. So I am going to just put a single crochet into that stitch like so, and then put my hook through that first leg of the single crochet and make another single crochet stitch. So this will count as your first double crochet. This just looks a little bit neater when you're working in the round. It just looks a little bit neater. So we're going to put 2 more double crochet into that same stitch, and this makes our first granny cluster. We're then going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and put a granny cluster into our next stitch. That's 3 double crochet all into the same stitch. Skip 2 and then a granny cluster in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So I'm at the end of the round, and I'm just going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that stacked single crochets there. And then we're going to turn, and we start the next round off with another stacked stitch. So we're going to put a single crochet into that space, hook goes through that first leg, and we put another single crochet like so, and then 2 double crochet to make our granny cluster. And from now on we're going to be working into the spaces we made from the previous round. So we're going to put a granny cluster into each space. So at the end of this round, again, we're going to join with the slip stitch to the top of that stacked stitch and turn. So we're just going to repeat that last round until we have a total of 9 rounds in the granny stitch. So I've got 9 rounds in granny stitch, and I'm going to turn, and this last round is going to be a decrease round. So we're going to start the round off with that stacked stitch, and then we're going to double crochet 2 together over these 2 spaces. So yarn goes over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then we're going to do the same into the next space. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through all of those loops, and then we'll put another double crochet into that space. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So I'll show you one more time. We're going to put a double crochet into the next space like so, and then double crochet 2 together over both of these spaces. So yarn over, hook goes in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we'll do the same into the next space, yarn over and pull through all of those loops, and then finish with another double crochet into that space. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around. Decreases all the way around, and as you can see, we've got this one space left here. We don't have an extra one to work a decrease over, so I'm just going to put a granny cluster into that last space. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch and fasten off. And we're going to leave a long tail so you can cinch the top of the hat. So we're going to thread our tail onto a darning needle, and we're going to start weaving through the front loops of our stitches like so, and you're going to do this all the way around the top of your beanie. Once you get back to the beginning, you're going to simply pull that top tight. Then we're going to go around and go back through all of those stitches again. Then you can take your yarn through to the inside of the beanie. Just tie a little knot with the yarn by going through that loop and then hide your end. Now you need to weave in this last tail here, and all that's left to do is add a cute fairy pom-pom to your beanie. These fur pom-poms give a really finished touch to your beanie. You can also get the little labels if you want to. I've had these made up with my brand name on them. You can get them with made with love or anything you like, really. I've added these pom-poms to my Amazon storefront. I will see if I can find some labels to add as well. And if you'd like to know exactly how to attach your pom-pom, then watch this next video.